Capricorn, welcome. We are here for another hopes, fear, and reality spread. Just as a reminder, this is a grounding spread. It's intended to get you out of your head and get your intellect and intuition working together for your highest good. Capricorn, you are hoping to not have to take the lead in this situation. You have learned some lessons from your past and you've analyzed your own behavior to see what you're doing that's not making your relationships work. And by relationships, I mean all relationships, not just one in particular. You've noticed something about yourself and you've learned from it. And one of the things that you have to look at is how often you need to take the lead in situations. And what you're hoping for is not to have to be the one to always take the lead. Your fear is that if you don't take the lead, or if you, how do I put this? You don't want to always have to take the lead. But in all relationships, your friendships, your work relationships, your love relationships, in all relationships, you don't always want to have to be the leader. But you fear that in one particular relationship, if you don't take the lead, that this will fall apart. You will not be victorious over the situation and you will have a very difficult time healing. So it looks to me like you're prioritizing people in your life right now. Who is worth your time and energy and who is not. Because this one relationship is stuck on your mind and you fear losing it more than all these other relationships that you don't mind giving up control over. I didn't say giving up the relationships as a whole, but giving up that leadership role, that control, being the one that says, follow me. The reality of the situation is that you are coming out of some very hard times and you're learning some very difficult lessons of your past. You have 2 5s in the inverse on the board here. And 5s are about chaos. The wonderful things about 5s and chaos, because they can always be about lacking, they're about not having, they're about uncomfortable change. The 5s show us the things in our life that we don't want. Because sometimes we focus on what we do want and the possibilities are endless because it's a daydream. When you start focusing on the things that you don't want, you limit that daydream and jerk it right into reality, which Capricorns are very, very good at. You guys are very calculated people. So when I see these 2 5s on the board in the inverse and I'm focusing on your reality here, this tells me that you've learned some very important lessons on your past that have to do with all relationships, not just this particular one, even though this particular one is causing you the most anxiety right now. The reality of the situation is you are putting the pieces of the puzzle together and you are understanding that the lack that you had in your life is pointing you towards a different list. Not what I do want, but what I don't want. And focusing on what you don't want is what's going to help you with this current problem. Yeah, see, there's some truth here. This is the truth will set you free, but yours is in the inverse. And this is the second time I had to say this today, but it's almost like it's stabbing me right in the heart. There is a truth here. There is a pill that is very hard to swallow that you're looking at. And sometimes those truths just need to come out for better or for worse. Because I'm seeing the King of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles here in the inverse as well. Meaning that until you deal with this particular situation, until you decide on this particular relationship in your life, nothing here is really going to feel right. So if I were to give a piece of advice on this one, I would say focus on the things that you don't want rather than the things that you do want. And inevitably, you'll start to narrow down those options. Okay, Capricorn, I hope you found a message for your highest good today.